of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Turn on my mic. I will call this regular Board of Moffett County Commissioners meeting to order on Tuesday, August 12th, 2025. And Chair would move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And Chair would move to approve the consent agenda items A through M.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right. And that moves us into public comment. Do you have anything that you would like to share with the board? Come up.
I'm Michael Lawson. I need to sit up here? Okay.
You do, so we can get you on the recording.
Phone too?
Thank you.
All right, no problem. I'm Michael Lawson, and both of you live in my neighborhood, and we had a fire. Did you either one of you get a reverse 911? No. I talked with the sheriff yesterday, and he made it very clear that the dispatchers were a contract service and that they did everything but press the final button to send out the reverse 911, which is why we didn't get one. He also indicated that when the all clear was sent, it was sent to Rio Blanco County for the return to home and not to Moffett County, which caused them a bunch of consternation down there. I didn't know about Moffett alerts, so I am signed up for that, but there's something very disturbing about that. It only takes cell phone numbers. And I know that there's a bunch of people here in this county that don't have cell phones. And you know how cell phone service is in the more remote areas of our county. And so they wouldn't get any notification at all that something was happening because they don't have service, which is rather disturbing. So I think something needs to be done. I mean, it's great that we have that service available, but because people have a lot of landlines that they wouldn't be able to get the notification on that. And I think something, needs to be done for those people because there's a lot of nowhere out there. And I think that probably does need to be addressed. We probably need to ensure that since it is a contract service, that the people that are performing the services are properly trained in everything that they have to do. So I don't know what qualifications that the county has for, that for that kind of a service, but they should ensure that those things are, covered. So properly trained people are answering our emergency calls and putting out the emergency alerts.
So did he tell you that it's actually just another county doing it that's set up with the state? Did he tell you that or not?
No, he didn't. He just said it was at dispatch and it was a contract service there.
Yeah.
Is what he had told me.
Okay.
So let's see. The other is that there seems to be in communications with the sheriff's department, there's a great reliance on Facebook. I don't do Facebook. A lot of people don't do Facebook. So there needs to be some other way to communicate to people. I mean, there's a lot of people here that don't have the internet. So there needs to be a better way to communicate to our citizens, especially when something like that is happening. If it wasn't for my little dog waking me up and then hearing the helo as it was dumping water, I wouldn't have known about the fire and I was 3 blocks away. So, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else has anything they would like to share with public comment? Can you come up to the front, please?
Is that on what we're talking about now or a different matter?
It's on anything you'd like to share with us.
As most of you probably know, my name is John Zimmerman. My home is at 855 County Road 30, Craig, Colorado. What I wanted to speak to the commission about is an issue about 4/10, maybe just slightly more, on County Road 30 off highway, main highway to Vernal, west of town. And I'm sure you've heard some issues there. But we have a second county dump at that location. It's just about 8/10, not quite 8/10 of a mile from the highway. I've spoken about it to a number of people. I don't know what the commission can do, but I feel like they need to enforce. If they can't enforce something that's on the books, they need to get something on the books, because my personal feeling is that that mess that's built there and all of that, all of the people across the road from me to the east and down the road toward the highway from me, property values are being just beat to pieces, not from what we're being assessed, but from that mess. That new city dump is what I'm calling it. Belongs to Gordon Birch. I think you've heard about that before, probably. We need some help. I figure that my property values, regardless of what the county has as of right now, are worth significantly less, at least $35,000 to $45,000 less value than they were, because of that mess down there. I wouldn't be interested in buying a place there and have to look at that. I think the county needs to do something about it. So I'm coming to you folks to ask you to do it. Now, all of the subdivision across the County Road 30 from me, those people feel the same way, and numbers of them on farther down on County Road 30 toward the river. We're all being beat up by that mess. Now, I happen to know that there's been work being done there, mechanic work, that kind of thing. I am almost positive, I can't swear to it, there's no permits whatsoever for that kind of activity in that location. So you've got several different things going on there that could be used as a tool to make him clean it up. And I think it's very important. Tax values, like I said, I feel like my achievable value at this point in time would be $35,000 to $45,000 less money than it has been. And that's a heck of a hit, folks. It really is. So I'm asking the commission individually, and if necessary, bring in everybody from across the road and everything else, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to get into a fight. We don't want to get into something there. We want some protection. Simple there. If you have any questions of me, I'd be tickled to death to answer them.
Okay, thank you.
Not right now. Appreciate it. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Okay, is there anybody else who has any public comment this morning? Hearing none, I'll go to general discussion. I just would say thankful for the quick response on the fire in town, as well as the continued resources that are happening outside and west of town, south of town, and the community coming together for that. Anyone else?
No.
Okay.
Just echo what you said for sure.
All right, then we'll move on to natural resources. Jeff Comstock, resolution 2025-76.
Morning, Commissioners. So in front of you is a resolution 76 that would ask you to formally adopt the Moffett County Economic Development Authority, as well as the investment policy that would be tied to that authority. And in a nutshell, this would be our half of the deal. The city does the city will do the same thing, adopt these same documents tonight, assuming they do get adopted. And the both of you together will enter into an agreement that has that establishes this Economic Development Authority. For the last year, we've been working on this since the tri-state settlement through the Public Utilities Commission. And this was the idea of establishing a permanent, I call it a trust fund, but the proper name now is authority to last forever in this community. Its goal is to as deposits come in from our settlement, and any future settlements or any other donations, that it would be a perpetual fund, that the principal would not go away. The interest would be spent on things related to what we're losing as a power plant closes, such as jobs and property tax. And the interest can be used on grants, loans, or other expenditures, anything for economic development. And so the establishment of this authority would allow the city and the county to appoint 2 board members to that authority, and then a taxing district could appoint the 3rd member. We have, as we've had different public workshops, we've thought it would be appropriate to make that first offer to the school district and see if they'll accept that. But if not, we could use other taxing authorities, but you'd have a 5-member board that would establish and manage that money according to the principles that are set in front of you. That's what the establishment agreement does. The investment policy highlights several things on what a primary job would be. And basically, it's a new job to the community that's not related to something existing. And that's the focus of where the money would go. And very importantly, it relies on the statutes that establish and distribute money according to government funds. And as you guys know, we worked very hard this year to change the statute. It is still the same citation in the law, but there's amendment to that statute that allows any entity that has funds from a coal settlement agreement to invest with a little more flexibility than typical governments can invest. And I think we're all very proud of that. It means that this authority will have statutes behind it that say it doesn't have to go into just bonds or into just CDs like our treasurer and other ones do. These special monies coming from coal communities could have a little broader, more flexible things. They could work with investment brokers and other things. And so once you adopt this, then the intent is that your next meeting 2 weeks from now, each you and the council would appoint your choice of members. And then we'd work with the school district if they chose to participate later on. And we hired, I should ask Aaron, is Taft, Sherman, and Howard on the phone right now or on the Zoom?
We are, Jeff. This is Parker by phone.
Great. So I need to introduce to you, to the audience, that you, Parker and Alejandro, are the law firm, or representatives from the law firm Taft, Sherman, and Howard, who the city and the county jointly hired to create these documents that I just described. They've been working with us for the last little bit on this and created the paperwork that's in front of you today. And I'd offer Parker or Alejandro, if you'd like to add anything to this, please feel free to do so.
No, it's, I'm sorry I can't be on video or in person, but it's good to be there by audio. And Jeff, no, you summarized it well. I just want to extend thanks to both the county representatives, the city team, everybody who worked hard through a couple of public workshops and a lot of discussion to put these documents in a form that implement the productive funds for the benefit of the community. I would be ready to answer any questions if anybody has any, but I really don't have a lot to add to what Jeff summarized.
Thanks, Parker. How about you, Alejandro?
Not much to add, as you well said, and also described, we've been working on this for a few months now. There's been a couple of workshops where we've gotten input from both city, county, and also school districts, right, to make sure that these documents were where the different parties want them to be. We're really excited about this new authority and the things that's going to be able to make for the community.
Thank you.
I would say that this is a new authority, right? So I know the city has a economic development group that meets, and this is totally separate from that economic group that meets for the city. I was asked that last week, and
That
um,
that is correct.
just
That is
clarify.
correct. Yes. Yep. That's correct. Yes.
Good clarification. I can see how that could be confusing to somebody.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions?
No.
We'll entertain a motion.
Okay, Chair, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-76, resolution approving an establishment agreement creating the Moffett Economic Development Authority, the investment policy of the authority, the appointment of board members of the authority, and other matters related thereto.
Second.
Motion and a second on the resolution. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You need the two other motions as well for adopting the Economic Authority Agreement, or is that included with?
No, that was all included in this resolution. So the authority is established and the investment policy is established. Yeah.
Perfect. With that, then we'll go into public hearing. Let the record show today's.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Parker and Alejandro, thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and we'll look forward to working with you to on next steps. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. All right, let the record show today's posted public hearing regarding the Orsted conditional use application C 2506 and Martin replat application S 2505, where letters were sent to adjacent landowners and legal ads run on July 16th and July 23rd and posted on the county website. Once the public hearing has been declared open, I'll ask Candace Miller, Planning and Zoning Coordinator, to present to the BOCC the request as submitted. Once the presentation is complete, the commissioners may ask questions or make comments. I will then ask the audience if there's anyone who wants to testify either for or against. Any citizen of Moffett County may testify once the public hearing has been declared and all information has been presented. For those who want to testify, you'll be asked to approach the commissioners, state your name for the record, and will be given 3 minutes to present your testimony either for or against. Erin Miller will be the timekeeper today, and she will notify the BOCC and the speaker that 20 seconds remain before your time is up. No decisions will be made during the public hearing. This is an opportunity for any of you to provide testimony in favor of or in opposition of the proposed request. The commissioners have the option of asking questions or answering questions related to the topic during the hearing process. Once all testimony has been heard and the public hearing will then be declared closed and we will go back to regular session. I will then refer back to the board for discussion and a decision on said proposal. With that, I declare this hearing open. Candace Miller. Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. So I have an application for conditional use from Orsted. I may have David on the line if you have any questions for him. So this application is for a single Met Tower. The Met Tower is located on a parcel that is roughly 37 miles northwest of town. The Met Tower will be in place for anywhere from 6 months to a couple of years collecting data for wind, determining whether or not the wind is viable for future wind projects in the area. The planning board met on Wednesday of last week. We received no public comment, no opposition. I had some individuals stop in to ask about the project, but no opposition. We did get a presentation, which you guys have in front of you, from Orsted about the Met Tower location. kind of giving you a little background about Orsted as a company, and then specifically about the Met Tower, the location, a visual of what that looks like. We did talk about any impacts it would have as far as reclamation. It is a very minimal impact to the land. There's no concrete, no foundations. I mean, it's up in, 4 to 7 days and down in a couple of days, and you would never know they were there. And so the board did make a recommendation for approval with no concerns or conditions on the application. So if you have any questions, I do have Bob with Orsted and then maybe David on the call.
Yeah, I'm on the call. Thanks, Candace.
Uh-huh. And to add, just so you know, the data they're looking to collect, there was conversation that they will likely be applying for additional locations. This one, they, I believe, share that maybe around the 6-month point, they'll know if the data they're getting is going to warrant additional locations. So I would look forward to an additional conditional use for a couple more locations spread out across some of the property they have under lease.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
Yeah.
We don't have a list of landowners, huh? Or do we? Private or?
That they're
No,
list with?
we can get that. This
Oh, I'll just-
particular, this particular property is George Raftopoulos.
Oh,
George isn't here because his sons had a medical last night, so he couldn't get here because he lives in.
yeah, so, okay. It doesn't make or break or anything. I was just curious.
Yeah, and I think
I forgot.
a majority of the land is
Yeah.
Raftopoulos.
I did forget that actually.
Okay. All right. Then at this time, I will open it up for the public. If anybody would like to testify for or against, you'll be asked to approach the desk and state your name and give your comments. I'll call one more time if anybody would like to testify for or against. Okay. Hearing none, we will come out of the public hearing, return to regular session. What's the board's pleasure?
Chair, I would make a motion that we approve C-2506 on an application for conditional use for a Met Tower.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. We will return back into public hearing to hear the Martin replat application S-2505. All of the instructions remain the same. Candace, I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Candace. Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you, David. So we have an application for a replat. Mr. Elwood Martin. Aaron, can you roll down to the map, please? He has 2 parcels in Sand Springs. Prior to this map that you see here, we had 2 L shapes that kind of hugged one another. He is requesting a replat of the property. Both of the parcels are within the 5-acre minimum for ag. The new parcel line that you see there is basically separating a residence and a shop. And so they're will be on separate parcels.
Is this where he's selling that shop?
He's selling.
Is that where it's at on that
Yes.
corner? He's selling the shop from the house.
And the house
and the
separately.
business. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
And so we reviewed the plat in our meeting on Wednesday. We did identify some potential maybe hurdles for whether it's Elwood or the future landowner of the lower lot, B, I believe, for obtaining a well permit and how the well is currently placed on the parcel. However, that is out of our jurisdiction. So however they handle the well is between the landowner and DWR. But we did make note of it on on our paperwork that and the applicant was made aware of this as well, that the placement and permitting on Lot 7B could cause issues for well usage on Lot 6B. And he has been advised to reach out to DWR in regard to that existing permitting. And another well that a permit was canceled on, he is adjusting this plat to allow an easement. So if you see in the top parcel, gray, the lighter gray, there's a little circle that it comes down to a little circle at the top. There's a well there, and then one off to the right of that. The one off to the right is the active with an active permit. The other one does not have an active permit, but it is an existing well. So he's putting in an easement to allow for the lower lot 6B to be able to access that well up top should they need to have a well on that parcel. And then obviously, so the shop that is now on its separate parcel had a conditional use that was issued in 2012 for a woodworking shop. That's obviously been expanded upon. But the real estate agent, as well as the landowner, Elwood Martin, was made aware that any future use as far as business goes at the property, that the conditional use application will need to be amended, and that individual is going to need to understand the conditions of operating a business in a residential ag zoned area. So, but the board, based off of the plat, he's within the 5 acre minimum. There were no other issues. We are resolving the single concern about the well, which again is out of our jurisdiction. So it's not something that we can really speak too much on. We just out of courtesy, make him aware. He is working on that. I did have a conversation with him and he is in the process of having conversations. The board did make a motion to recommend approval of the replat application.
Any other questions from the board before I open it for public comment?
Nope.
All right, then I will open it at this time for anybody in the public who would like to testify for or against the Martin replat. Last call. Anyone who would like to testify for or against this application for the Martin replat. Hearing none, I will declare the hearing closed and go back to regular session and refer to my fellow commissioners.
Chair, make a motion to approve the Martin replat application S-25-05.
02. Where's mine wrong?
I have 05, 2505.
Mine says 2502. Which one is it?
That's weird. It's 05.
It's 05?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just to make sure.
On the front, it says 02.
Yeah, on the front, it says
Yeah.
02. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I learned my letters, my numbers. So.
You did real good.
Yeah. But on the back, it says 05.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for clarification, we are approving, or the motion again is to approve the Martin replat application S-2505.
Yes.
Second,
Second.
you made the yeah,
You made it.
he made it. Okay. All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So that moves us on to Road and Bridge Department, Dan Miller.
I was just going off the front. I didn't even look at the back. still can't see it says 6:05. What's it say?
When you're, we got a couple more pages. That's the map. You got one? Oh, I probably have one of yours.
That's the front.
Okay.
I didn't get that whole thing.
Dan.
Morning.
We're good at our numbers. We
Oh,
don't
you
know
got
our pages.
two. Well, that's why.
He's got two of them. Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
First thing I have this morning is, the road department advertised for bids on a mulcher head to fit our skid steer for the purpose of clearing right of way brush and trees. Like, the bypass has all that big sagebrush. We need to get rid of that. County Road 4, Wilderness Ranch, there's a whole lot of stuff that's overgrown, causing drifting and animals that, you know, you can't see the animals. So that's why we want to get this. We had 4 bids. Tazza Supply out of Illinois was 65,876. Rocky Mountain Machinery here in Craig was 46,000. Wagner Caterpillar in Hayden was $42,064.05. And Wear Parts and Equipment out of Aurora was $40,799. They were the low bid, but their head is only a 60-inch drum, and our skid steer, the track skid steer we have is 80 inches wide. So that's not going to work very well. The Caterpillar bid from Wagner, it's a 72-inch drum, but it's an 84-inch machine, so it'll actually work on our machine. So it's, you know, 1,500 more, but we recommend accepting the bid from Wagner, Caterpillar, and Hayden for $42,064.05.
Okay. Any questions for Dan?
Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the bid recommendation to Wagner Caterpillar out of Hayden in the amount of $42,064.05.
Second.
Okay. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, motion carries. Next item.
And then we also put out a bid for pavement striping. Our budget was 100,000. We're advertised for 40 miles of striping. And Stripe a Lot is the only ones that bid it, and I think they've done it the last 2 or 3 years. Their bid was $79,847. So we would recommend the bid be awarded to Stripe a Lot out of Montrose.
Okay, your budget's 100,000 on that, and in the past, we've reduced what was covered just to like the fog.
Right,
lines
we
and-
didn't do fog lines on any of it, I don't believe. Bruce took care of this, but he's sick yesterday and today, so I'm kind of winging it here.
Okay. I just wondered if you were able to add anything into that to meet your
Well,
budget amount for what's been cut in the past.
57, we talked about striping that, but it can wait another year. And we'd like to save the money if we can, and we don't think it's necessary to spend that other $21,000 on this.
If it's not necessary, then that's good. I just know we've cut a few things in the past to save on that, so that was my question.
Yeah, we alternate the hazmat we have to do every year.
Right.
But the non-hazmat routes, we try to rotate them every other year so that we still have the lines, but we're not spending the money that we don't have to.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. The board's pleasure.
Chair, I'll make a motion to give the bid to Stripe a Lot Inc. for $79,847.
Second?
Right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Quick today.
Hmm?
You're quick today.
Am I?
Yeah. I think you said you need more discussion than you said, you just fire.
Let you take a breath. Done. All right. Office of Development Services, Neil Binder.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I love it. Yummy, I love it.
All right. So in front of you, you have the bid or the quote from Masterworks Mechanical for replacement. It's our annual replacements that we do every year on the Public Safety Center. And every year it's 2 rooftop units that we replace. So these 2 units are the oldest on the building. We went out to bid on July 10th, and we had a pre-bid meeting on the 24th. We only had 1 contractor show up. That was Masterworks. So we don't have multiple bids to go off of. We were budgeted for $36,000, which is averaging about $18,000 in previous years for each replacement. These units came in just slightly above that, $2,500 increase to $38,500. With that said, after talking with Vic at Masterworks, we upgraded the train communications system back in 16, which is an online system so we can look and diagnose any issues. It sounds like there is a possibility that there could be an increase of $17,000 to get those units to talk with that system because it's an older system and we're introducing new technology. So he recommended that we install those units, and he is hoping that we're able to get them to talk with that communication system. If we have to go forward, that $17,000 will be used to bring out trained technicians to upgrade that part of that system. We do have that $17,000 in the capital budget that is designated for the safety center that was extras from another project. So we don't have to increase the budget to get this done. So I'm asking the board to approve for the $38,500 with knowing that there could be the $17,000 at a later date, which we'll know more after we install.
Any questions for Neil?
I don't know if you said it, but how many units are on that building? Does it seem like since I've been here?
There's over 20 of them.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
For zones?
there's a lot. And these 2 are over the jail.
Right.
There's 4 units on top of, actually 5 units on top of the jail itself. These are the first of the 4 that will be replaced. So next year, those next 2 will be replaced, which will increase that budget knowing this now. So we shouldn't have that issue.
Okay, Candace has something.
Last year, did they have any problems communicating to that system?
No, the technology just changed because they have to change all of the different refrigerants and all these things. And the circuitry has changed.
This year.
Yeah.
This year.
Chair, I'll make a motion to go with the bid recommendation to replace the rooftop units or rooftop unit replacement at the safety center. Award the bid to Masterworks Mechanical in the amount of $38,500.
And do we need to add, there might be a chance there'd be an extra 17,000, isn't that what he said?
Yeah, which is an increase of 19.5.
Or would you just come back to us at that time?
I can come back to you guys. Yeah, it'll be,
Whatever you guys want.
Okay, whatever you.
I'm good either way.
Yeah.
I'm good either way.
yeah,
Let's see if we're-
you want me to just come back?
Why don't we just add,
No?
I'll add to my motion that if needed, we approve to $17,000 to put the communications in place, then you don't have to.
That's a good idea.
We're not changing the budget. We've got it.
We can just go
Yep.
if we have to. Yep.
I would want you to give us a heads up if that does come up.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No, ma'am.
Nope.
Favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neil.
And that concludes our business. We will reconvene August 26th, 8:30 a.m. right here. Thank you.
The one time you were quick.
Did you-
No, I didn't. I was just laughing. I was just giggling about it. 'Cause I was like, boy, she's not missing the grass growing